Hello, welcome to my kitchen. I thought I'd share with you some really simple hacks to cut down on the amount of sugar that we eat, because we know sugar is just something that doesn't contribute any goodness to the diet, and it can cause inflammation and all sorts of issues. So these are the things that I've learned over the years that really help. And the number one rule, okay, above everything else that I'm going to say, the number one most fundamental thing is not to start your day with sugars. Okay, so the conventional breakfast of toast and jam or cereal, full of sugar, okay? Really nice once in a while, but not as a regular thing. So if you can get some good quality fats and protein into you first thing, it reduces the amount of insulin spiking that we get later on in the day. And trust me on this, you will find that you have far fewer sugar cravings if you can start your day with some good fats. So I'm talking about simple things: eggs, boiled egg. Faye Weldon said, go to work on an egg. Really good to have quick omelette, boiled egg, whatever. Even a hard-boiled egg, have them done ready in advance so you can just grab it in the morning if you're in a rush. Make an omelette, add some cheese in. Use good quality extra virgin olive oil. You can drizzle that on all sorts of things to improve the fat content. You can have things like avocados, really good healthy fats. You could put avocado on a piece of really dark sourdough toast, or have avocado on greens, on some fresh spring greens or some broccoli, for example. So delicious. Again, drizzle with a little bit of olive oil. Or you could make a shake. So this is my go-to healthy green shake. You'll find the recipe on earlewellbeing.com website. And I make that with things like kefir and yogurt, full fat milk, never half fat or low fat. And then you can add in some protein powder, for example, just to give you some extra sustenance. So that's the first thing, okay? Number one is really get your fats in early in the day. And then during the day, if you get cravings to snack, see if you can find little high fat, low sugar or zero sugar snacks. So for example, cheese is really good. This is a goat Gouda. I really like it. I usually have some in my fridge, keep some in slices. You can get, ready sliced cheese if you want to take with you if you're out and about. Other things that I always keep in my fridge, if you want to take a little look inside my fridge, things ready to snack on, because that's always the key, isn't it? You get the munchies, you get hungry and you grab what's ever there, and it may be a packet of biscuits, but if you've got something else you can go to. So things like carrot sticks, cucumber sticks, bit of hummus, dip it into that. That's a really good way to keep the sugars out. Fruit, again, be careful with fruit. Fruit is good, but some fruit is better than others. So things that I really like are berries. So I've got here blueberries and raspberries. These have a lower glycemic load, so they're less likely to spike your insulin. They're also full of skin-friendly anthocyanins, so they give lots of other benefits as well. Just be careful to avoid things like the tropical fruits, things like pineapple and mango. Super tasty, but super high in sugar, so if you can swap them out. Stone fruit are also very good, so when they're in season, things like fresh apricots, absolutely delicious. Not dried fruit, because that tends to be high, whoops, I need to shut my fridge. It tends to be high in sugars if it's dried, so not reaching for things like a handful of raisins, but going for a handful of fresh blueberries instead would be a better option. The other thing that I like to snack on, if I look in this cupboard, are nuts. So these are some of my favorites. I've got whole almonds here, very good source of protein, vitamin E. Brazil nuts, 1 or 2 Brazil nuts make a really good snack. Again, a very good source of natural selenium, and walnuts as well. You've got good healthy fats going on in walnuts. So having those to hand, and what I like about nuts particularly is they give you that crunch. So often we just kind of want something to crunch on. So instead of crisps that crunch, go for nuts instead. Ultimately though, if you really want something very sweet and you're thinking, I just need to have some chocolate, choose your chocolate carefully. Always read the labels. There's so much that we can discover on the labels. So for example, this is a Mars bar. And what you want to look at is when it says carbohydrate content, and then it splits it out underneath carbs, it'll say and sugars. That's the bit you want to look for, where it says and sugars. And it always lists it per 100 gram, which is really good because you can compare like with like. You can compare, a small packet of something with a bigger something else because it's per 100 grams, so you can measure it equally. So this carbohydrate, if I look on the label, it's got carbohydrate content, of which sugars, 60 grams. 60 grams of sugar per 100 grams in a Mars bar. I mean, that is off the charts high. But if you want chocolate, you can still have some. Just go for the dark chocolate. So this is a brand that I really like, Solcombe Dairy. You've probably heard me talk about it before. Lots of other brands out there of dark chocolate. This is a really good one because it's dark chocolate with no added sugar. So this one is 72% cocoa. Again, chocolate will usually say what percentage it is. Go for a higher percentage of cocoa. So this is 72% cocoa. But importantly, look at the back because it's got carbohydrates, of which sugars. Guess what this says? It says 2.4 grams per 100 grams. 2.4 grams of sugar compared to 60. Isn't that astonishing? 60, 2.4. So you can see making little swaps, reading labels, genning up on it, stocking up your cupboards, have things that are really handy, can make such a massive difference. And before you know it, you will have cured your sugar cravings. You'll have things around you that will make your insulin much more stable and much less likely to want to reach for the carbs. Literally, try me, trust me, leave me a comment below, let me know how it goes. You can, of course, resort to things like supplements. There are a couple of things here that I'll just finish with that I find can be helpful. There are some interesting studies looking at things like cinnamon, helping to reduce sugar cravings. So using ground cinnamon, you can use it in recipes, you can sprinkle it on your cappuccino, for example. So ground cinnamon can be good. If you don't like the taste of cinnamon, you can even buy cinnamon supplements like these little capsules here. But ultimately, if you stock up on the good fats and make some simple changes, you shouldn't need to, and you'll soon find that your sugar content during the day drops dramatically, and I guarantee that you'll feel better for it.